Okay, this is the teardown and rectification of a Hunter X-Core retic controller. Basically, this is what it looks like inside. Australian model. The problem with this one was the dial was essentially not turning correctly. It wasn't selecting the correct mode. So at the end of the life of this one, I couldn't turn the system onto manual one station, etc. So if we open it up, I've already opened this all up, so, and take this out. Essentially, taking it apart is quite easy. You basically got 4 screws at the back of the unit, and then once you lift this out, essentially you've got multiple screws on the circuit board. In addition to that, you do have to take out all the solenoid screws to get the actual PCB out. These 4 locators here are basically for the dial unit, which I'll show you shortly. So once you take this out, essentially it's actually got a Samsung chip on it, which was very interesting. Just have to be careful because the LCD is just in place there. Okay, this is what the back of it looks like, and this is your problem area here. This is where the dial basically selects the mode, and what I'll show you across here is what that unit looks like from the inside. So that's the top where the actual selected dial would go. That's the back. This thing turns around, and on mine it's actually snapped where it holds this contactor unit here. What that does is essentially make a contact against each selector part here. Something similar to that. Problem with it and the design of it is that this is held in by a very small bit of plastic, which is obviously prone to snapping. Also, this whole unit is greased to make sure it obviously turns correctly, but what that grease does is foul the contacts on the board, on the PCB, so this is all very greasy, and over time, no doubt, it essentially makes it very hard to make a contact. That's why sometimes you have to kind of jiggle the dial, and that basically cuts through the grime and grease and makes you contact, and over time it will just start giving you issues. So basically, if yours isn't broken like mine, you should be able to just open it up, clean the contacts prongs here and the base here with some contact cleaner. That should get you going. It's very easy to take apart and put back together. If yours is broken like mine has, basically I've contacted Hunter to see if they will replace or have a replacement part of that. Otherwise, basically I use this as spares because I've already purchased a new one. So that's it. As you can see on the board, if I can get it right, it has a Samsung chip, which is obviously the brains behind it all. But yeah, putting it back together, it's pretty easy. I have done it. Some interesting things are the contacts here. I'm not sure, maybe that's for testing or whatever. Apart from that, as you can see, this unit has a 240 volt transformer, which is for the Australian market. And that's it. Model information is on the side there as well. Hope this helps people out. Cheers.